Let's go out to the home of the greatest food on planet Earth, San Antonio, Texas, and talk to Sarah. What's up, Sarah?
Hi, Dr. Don.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
About the same. Oh, boy. So what's up?
So I need some help. I'm very exhausted and overwhelmed handling a situation with my husband and my 15-year-old son.
Uh-oh.
It's two separate situations.
Let's start with husband.
Husband, okay. My husband hasn't worked now in 10 and a half months. And
Why?
He got fired from his job. And I don't know. He makes excuses of why he can't go to work, why he doesn't try to find a job. He gets too distracted. There's too many things to do. It's just one excuse after another.
So
I don't know.
What have you? How has that gone in your home? I mean, who's paying bills? Are you out working too?
Yes, but right now I'm on maternity. I've been out since the end of August.
So you have a 15-year-old and an infant?
There's actually 4 kids, 15, 13. We're a blended family.
Okay.
Those 2 kids are from my previous marriage, and then we have 2 kids, a 2-year-old and then a newborn.
Good God. So what does he do all day?
Sometimes he sleeps. He sleeps for hours. He's got a lot of mental health issues going on.
Uh-huh. It sounds like he's struggling.
Yes. And he'll get distracted, busy himself with straightening things, emptying containers, filling containers.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. I have a hard question to ask, just to kind of cut to the chase.
Sure.
Are you going to leave him? Are you almost done?
Yes, I've been strongly considering separation.
Okay. When you've been facing this for a year, 10 months, right? You've basically been doing this for a year. You have to have in mind your or what conversation. And what I mean by your or what conversation is you sit down and say, you have to go see a doctor or a psychologist or a counselor within the next 7 days, or I'm moving out. Mm-hmm. You have to go get a job and begin going to the job every day. And we've had, by the way, the greatest run of job opportunities in American history the last 36 months, 24 months. He can get a job tomorrow. He can get a job today. He can get 2 jobs today. And actually, depending on what his mental health diagnostic is, who knows what he's going through. If he's got depression disorder, who knows. But often getting up and getting a job is helpful. It gives you a thing to go towards. It gives you a purpose, a role. It gives you meaning, right? Not every situation. That's why he needs to go see somebody. But you have to have a very firm or what. Because you've been him-hawing and hinting at this and getting mad at him for 10 months now, right?
Right.
What did he get fired for?
Stealing.
What was he stealing?
Money and gift cards.
Well, that might make it hard to get a job. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
What was his response to getting caught and getting fired?
He was very, I wouldn't say remorseful. I think he was more panicked that he got caught and shocked.
Is that the kind of guy he is?
No, well, not the kind of guy that I thought he was. We've been married since 2019. No, I was shocked when I found out that he was stealing. That's not the husband that I know. That wasn't in his character. However, later to find out he was fired from 2 other jobs for stealing, and I did not know that.
Oh, well, geez. Hey, Sarah, lead with that next time, okay? Lead with that.
Yeah.
So you're married to somebody who is a crook, who steals, and is constantly fired from his job. Repeatedly. Fair? This is not a fair question, but I have to ask it. Why did you go through and have kid number 4?
So I found out I was pregnant 1 week before he was fired.
Oh, geez. I'm so sorry. I'm happy that your baby's coming. I hope your baby's healthy and wonderful and all that's great. And I can just imagine how much this complicates things.
Yeah.
What is your plan? If you moved out tomorrow, what would your plan be? Where would you go?
So what I would want, I've been working with a counselor. I would want him to move out.
Okay.
We're in a 3-bedroom apartment. We had a house. We had to sell the house when he lost his job and wouldn't work. And I would want him out. And the kids and I stay in the apartment.
Can you afford that?
When I go back to work, yes. It'll be tight, but yes.
Okay. The research tells me, unfortunately, that when somebody has to leave their husband for any number of reasons, the husband's net worth goes up a little bit and her net worth goes down somewhat significantly, especially in the short term.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure you have an ironclad plan.
Right. And I don't right now. That's what I'm trying to work on. And that's why I haven't done anything.
I need you to stop trying to work on this, and I need you to get very tactical very quick.
Okay.
Do you have somebody in your life you could have that conversation with?
Yes, a counselor.
Okay. Also, at the end of this call, I want you to hang on. I'm going to give you a couple of free financial coaching calls with the team at Ramsey Solutions, okay? And they will help you build a budget that is based on real numbers and real life. Okay?
Thank you.
But practicing with your counselor is really smart. And next time you go to your counselor, I want you to say these words. I'm ready to practice my final conversation. And they can help you write it. They can help you script it. They can help you speak it out loud, feel it in your body so that when you actually sit down across from your husband and you lay it out there, you have rehearsed it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, well, let me just say this. I'm sorry. This isn't how it's supposed to be. The guy you married and have kids with is not supposed to be secretly stealing from his business, and then you find out he's been doing it for years. Husbands are not supposed to get fired and then sit around for 10 months. People get fired, life happens. People get laid off, that happens, that's life. But you don't get to sit around for 10 months while your pregnant wife is working up until the day she has a baby. I'm sorry, that's not supposed to be how that is. He's supposed to be out there with 4 jobs, and he's going to be very hard to hire right now because he's been dishonest so many times. But he can get a job mowing lawns, and he can get a job delivering for Uber, and he can get a job delivering pizzas, and he can get a job at a dog grooming place. He could figure it out. He's choosing. He can get a job with all the building that's going on in San Antonio. He can get a job on a site. But he's choosing not to. And he can go deal with his mental health challenges, and he's choosing not to.
Yeah.
Are you safe, Sarah?
Yes.
Why the pause?
Sorry.
It's okay.
He's been getting more angry, verbally abusive towards me and the kids. A few weeks ago, he left my son stranded. He kicked him out of the car. He was mad with his attitude.
How old is your son?
15.
He's watching his dad constantly get fired for being dishonest. And then he's watching his dad lay around the house. Of course he's a 15-year-old with an attitude. He's watching his pregnant mom float the whole family. Of course he has an attitude.
Yeah.
Do you have family in the area, Sarah?
No. my husband has family, and they're all rather supportive and talking to me of trying to figure out what to do.
What does that mean? They're supportive of him, or they're supportive of you? They know he's a deadbeat.
They're supportive of me.
Okay. What I like to look at in these situations is trend lines, escalation lines. And this seems to be trending in the very wrong direction. It sounds like as you're getting closer and closer to going back to work and he is out longer and longer, he's getting angrier and angrier and less safe and less safe. True or false? I missed that.
True.
Okay. So how much longer are you going to wait?
That's the question that I can't figure out.
You need to make a call now.
I keep waiting and waiting.
It's not going to happen. You've waited a year, and now your kids are paying the price. How long are you going to wait?
Yeah.
Because you're worth more than this, and you know that. They're worth more than this, and you know that. He's worth more than this, for God's sake. How much longer?
Yeah. Do you think is a 30-day time frame to give him an ultimatum to have full-time employment within 30 days is appropriate, inappropriate, too much, too little? What is your input?
I think he needs to be separated from you guys immediately, based on leaving a 15-year-old on the side of the road. Because what that shows me is that he is emotionally either very, very immature, or he is struggling profoundly emotionally to the point that he can't be in the presence of minor children. Because he's letting his inability to control himself as the adult in the room or in the car be managed by a child. And that's not your 15-year-old's job. Your 15-year-old's job is to push boundaries and to figure out how the world works. It's dad's job to act like dad and to be the firm, responsible adult in that interaction. And he is unable to do that right now. I don't mind 30-day separations or ultimatums. I think those can be very wise sometimes, but they have to have ground rules to them. Here's the date. We will reconvene in 30 days at this restaurant at this time. And by that time, you will show me you have 3 to 4 weeks of weekly counseling. You will show me that you have full-time employment at least 2 places. And you will show me your first pay stub. And in the meantime, I'm going to meet with an attorney to begin drawing up separation papers.
Okay.
And that means he's got to find a place to live. That means he's got to get real responsible real fast. Based on what you're telling me, I don't think he can make it. But I do understand your heart in not wanting to be a single mom with 4 kids suddenly, right?
Yeah.
I get that. Real quick, what's your challenge with your 15-year-old?
My 15-year-old, he's been vaping.
Yeah, you know why? Because it works.
That's what he says.
Yeah. I don't blame that 15-year-old 1 second. It's dumb and it's going to make him sick, but good God, I don't blame that kid for a second. I'm glad that's all he's doing. It's probably not all he's doing, by the way, but I'm glad.
Yeah. He's been in therapy for a few years. He has a plan with his counselor. He wants to quit by the beginning of the new year is what he says.
He wants to quit vaping?
Yeah.
Okay. Give him an environment where his body will let him rest.
Yeah. Needs peace.
He needs peace. Anytime a 15-year-old heads into any sort of substance use, it feels good, right? It's just different. It's sensation. and kids seek sensation. I got no problem with I understand it, right? It's the adult's job to make sure they don't get their hands on that stuff, and it's the adult's job to talk it through, and it's the adult's job to play defense. I'm not ever going to get mad at a 14-year-old for wanting to feel like a buzz, just what it feels like to smoke a cigarette, or to feel like a dip, or to feel like whatever. But in this situation, I get it completely because he's got to figure out some way to bring his body down because his body's at war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, when you kick dad out, you're going to be the bad guy for a season. You got to make peace with that. With your 15-year-old, you're playing a long game with him because he sees himself in his father, right?
His stepdad.
He's your kid, that's stepdad?
Right.
Where's his bio dad?
Here in the same town, but they're estranged.
Okay. He sees himself in his dad. And he knows part of me is that guy. And that haunts him. And the next example of a man he has is his stepdad, who is so out of control, he dropped a 15-year-old off on the side of the road. And the other half of him is his mom, who he's watching hold the whole house up. But that boy, you're right, the boy needs peace. You need peace, Sarah. Your whole household does. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to call your counselor and say, I'm ready to make a 30-day plan. I want you to Google Terry Real. I just mentioned this in a recent episode. TerryReal.com or TerrenceReal.com, Terry. And I want you to Google the 10 rules of a separation, of a trial separation, and it will pop up. And he's got the 10 rules. I want you to print that off and take that with your counselor, and I want you all to map it out. But I never am in the business of making this call. You've decided you want to do this. I am in the business of protecting kids, especially. I think the time is now. And I want you all to get this thing practiced, get this thing done, and have that conversation with husband ASAP. He needs help. You need help. And you need some clarity. And hang on the line. I'm going to hook you up with those financial coaches. I know that it's super easy to be like, you need to go. It's time. There's a fiscal reality, especially for what's about to be single moms. It's harder than just, you need to move on out and empower yourself. Well, okay, cool. But I can't send empowerment certificates to the lighting company, right? So we're going to help you make a plan, a roadmap financially, right? With the Ramsey financial coaches. So hang on the line. Also, I'm going to send you the EveryDollar app. I'm going to send you FPU for a year, okay? That's going to be my gift to you to give you some sort of plan to follow financially after this whole mess is over, because there's going to be a very significant fiscal reality to a 3-bedroom apartment in San Antonio and 4 kids and 1 income. That's going to be tough. And you're worth it. And you might have to end up moving. You might have to make some calls for some support and help in the interim. You are worth it. Thank you for the call. Call any time. And if husband wants to call, I'd love to talk to him too.